Big trending recipe right now, but this one's the best. Try the other ones. Put me on pause. I mean, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, man. If you want more, get another chicken. I don't care. You know? Well, I do care. Well, I don't care.
Comedy Kitchen with Chef Sel was recorded in front of a fake audience.
Hey guys, Chef Sel right here. Aha! Well, as we go along here in the great US of A, doing the 50 most Googled recipes all around this great country, we're still in the ends, and now we're gonna hit New York. Start spreading. Anyway, listen to this. Now, New York's funny. They're kind of funny. They go all over the board. We've been watching them every month and every week. And the latest thing they're looking for is pretty much anything chicken. Sheesh. Roasted, baked, fried, boiled, creamed, souped. Is that enough? Yeah. So what I'm going to do, big trending recipe right now, but this one's the best. Try the other ones. Put me on pause. Try the other ones, take a look at them, then come back to me. You'll see it. It's easy ingredients. Voila. See? Very simple. Why am I yelling? Okay, so chicken cobbler. And for the cobbler part, gluten-free cheddar bay biscuits. Let's get to the ingredients. Let's get going. But before we do, please subscribe right here. Boom. See? Then hit the bell. Every week we're doing another state. So stick with it and go backwards in time too. Go back to the A's. We started with Alabama. What was it? Fried green tomatoes. Go all the way back. All right, let's get going with this thing. And I also want you to like. Boom. Like me. Boom. Even if you hate me, like me. If you sort of like me. Just like me. Okay. Now for the chicken part, simple ingredients like I told you. It's all simple. 3 tablespoons of butter, a medium onion, 2 stalks of the celery chopped, half a cup of these frozen peas, 3 or 4 of these medium carrots. I said 2 because the 2 large ones, but these are small, okay? About 4 garlic cloves. I have the already minced garlic or whatever you want to call it. Get it. It's good. If you want to chop the garlic yourself, don't. I bought a rotisserie chicken and I'm going to try to get 4 cups of the white meat out of that and shred the heck out of it. You can cook your own chicken if you want, but why would you? For this one anyway. All right, 1/4 cup of gluten-free flour. I have that off camera. I made 2 cups of chicken broth with the best broth mix you could find on the market. It's called Better Than Bouillon and it's really good. I don't mind making it a little bit more strong than they tell you to. Broth usually has to be watery. Screw it. Oops, did I say that? You could say that. I added an extra teaspoon in the mix. Man, get some good chicken flavor, you know, a little bit of salt in there too. It's really good stuff. Okay, dried thyme, about 1/2 teaspoon. Dried parsley, about 2 or 3 teaspoons. We have salt, pepper, garlic powder, which I have off screen. I'm gonna go get that. And 3/4 cup of heavy cream right here. Sorry I left you out. That's okay, I would have remembered anyway. All right. I'm going to chop this all up that I need to be chopped up, and then we're going to start this baby. Boom. All right, for the celery, here's how I do it. So since we're going to do a chop, I want them in smaller pieces than normal. So I'm going to go right down the middle here. Sharp knife, please. And kind of keep it together. And you see where it gets fat here? Go halfway down that. Halfway this way. Maybe just a little bit of that here. And just roll it. I call it toe to heel. All right, let's speed it up, guys. All right, onion, same thing. Chop it up. Yellow onion's fine. Okay, onion's done. Got these carrots going. They're already peeled, which makes me very happy. I might do them all. You can do whatever you want. As many carrots as you want is fine with me. I told you that last week, and I tell you that all the time. very few of these recipes that you see anywhere online or anywhere in the books are written in stone. They're just not. I'm coining these. You know why? Because they look like coins. I didn't make that up, by the way, so don't yell at me. About a cup and a half, 2 cups of carrots. Coined, I know coin. Now I'm going to preheat my oven, 400. Just make sure that you have it heated by the time you're ready to put everything in there to bake. You know what I mean. Very simple. And have that casserole dish ready to go. Have it panned. All right, it's been about 8-10 minutes, and it's coming down pretty good. The carrots I cut a little thick because I like them that way, so they take a little bit more time to cook down. If they don't feel like, little rocks when you stir it, that's pretty much when you're ready to go to the next step. They don't have to be that soft because you're going to be cooking this thing in liquids and then you're going to bake it. You'll see. So my next step, you want to get the garlic in there. I have this minced garlic in a tube, paste they call it. Let's see. There's a clove. There's a clove. Clove and a half. I think 3.5, 4 cloves is fine. And mix that in. And as soon as you start really smelling that garlic, you go to the next step. Keep moving it. Garlic can burn about a minute with that garlic. And boom, I shredded the chicken. Shred it by hand. Just have extra paper towels, that's all. If you do it the fork method, the kind of separation method, you're not going to get all the little bones. You want to get your hands in there. That's a good 4 cups of shredded chicken. If you want more, get another chicken. I don't care. Well, I do care. Well, I don't care. Get everything mixed together. Now that chicken is dominating the ingredients, which is what I want, absorbing all that garlic and those veggies in there. And mix that around till everything's, coated with each other and all that junk. Okay, now I have a 1/4 cup of either AP flour or gluten-free flour, whatever you are into. If you're using gluten-free, go for Caputo's. I'm telling you, that's the stuff. You can get it on Amazon, I think. Stir again to coat. We're making a backwards roux, sort of. I say backwards because usually if you're making like a cheese sauce, you just do the butter and the flour together first. But, we're doing it backwards. Get the broth in. I went with about 1.5 cups and start stirring this up. Staying with that medium heat. Medium high, maybe. It's not a big difference on most stoves, so don't worry. As that's beginning to think about thickening, let me get my parsley and my thyme together. There we go. See, it's thickening up already. I love this flour. Caputo. That's my parsley. Is 1 dried parsley, folks, and 2 teaspoons. And thyme and chicken go perfect, by the way. Whatever anybody else has told you about that, tell them you heard it from the guy. That's me. Half a teaspoon's good on this thyme. And now we stir it around again. You want to start doing a folding method when you stir. Here, go underneath and put it on top of itself. I don't want the chicken to shred into, threads. We're not making a thread chicken dish here. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I went a little bit over because I like garlic powder. You can do what you want. And I have my heavy cream, 3/4 cup. Get that in there. You don't want to make this boil too much. We don't want to curdle that cream now, Steels. Now I got it down way on low just to keep it moving, keep it bubbling. Got my frozen peas. It's about 1/2 cup. Go about 3/4. God, I haven't had peas in like years. It adds a nice color, right? And they're going to bring the temperature of this thing down, so you got to wait till it starts bubbling again. They were frozen. What do you want from me? I'm going to give it another 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All these added ingredients always bring down the salt effect, so you want to give it more salt effect. I'm making up these phrases. Don't worry. I'll send you a whole list so you too can be like me. I got a smaller dish than I thought I was going to have, but that's just the way it goes. Pour it in. Everything's really hot, so use those gloves, folks. I don't want anybody riding in. Well, you won't be able to. Your hands will be bandaged up. All right, let's put this aside, and I'll clean all this up, and let's start our biscuits. Give me 2 cups of flour, tablespoon of baking powder, tablespoon granulated sugar, teaspoon garlic powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 of a teaspoon of Old Bay, get it? Cheddar Bay biscuits, right? Tablespoon of fresh parsley. Get it in these little cups. They have it now. It's all chopped and stuff. 6 tablespoons unsalted butter. We're going to make like a pie crust almost. All right? A cup of shredded sharp cheddar. I got more than enough. I got a pound here. You probably won't need it. And get the stuff that you have to shred. It melts better. Trust me on that. And a cup of cold buttermilk. So let me get that buttermilk back in the fridge. And let me start making this, I guess, dough you'd call it. And we'll go to the next step. Get yourself a nice big bowl. In here, 2 cups of gluten-free flour. You can use regular if you're not gluten-free, or if you're gluten not free. Tablespoon of baking powder, tablespoon of granulated sugar, teaspoon of garlic powder, 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, kosher salt, and I went 1 teaspoon. I said 3/4, that's what they're calling for in my lab, in the Chef Cell labs. Oh God, could you imagine what that looks like? Half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 of a teaspoon of Old Bay seasoning, and that's it. Put it in here and whisk it together. You crazy, crazy biscuit making people. Now let's get the parsley in there. Tablespoon. It's not dry, it's fresh. And it stays a long time in these plastic little thingies that you can buy. Oh yeah, oh yeah. There's a nice big fat tablespoon. What do you think of that? Now we're going to cut in these 6 tablespoons of cold butter. If you don't have a cutter, you can use a fork. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And kind of coat that so it doesn't stick. It'll probably still stick around, but that's okay. And here's my cutter, see? I'm just cutting this in. And keep cutting and recoating it. It's going to resemble little peas. My shredded sharp cheddar, if I didn't say that before. I got about 1.5 cups here. You can go a cup, you can go 2 cups. This is what I did. And stir it in. That butter and that dust. Can you believe we're making these things? I love this. All right, that's okay. We can use this dusty mixing cup for the buttermilk. 1 cup. Let's get that in there. Get your spatula ready and stir it around. Slowly, it'll make a mess, trust me. All right, I'm going to chill this in the fridge for about 20 minutes, half hour, because you want that butter and the buttermilk and the cheese and everything to be nice and cold so she flakes up on you, Johnny. All right, so I'll be back when that's done. All right, so I pumped it up to 425 on the oven. There's my chicken, we'll call it the chicken base. And I have an ice cream scoop here, because you want a nice round top on these things. You're going to plop them over. I didn't use the whole scoop for this. You got to just kind of judge for yourself. I mean, I think that's kind of good, right? So I'm going to put that on top, and I'm going to go around. Now, if you're doing this just to have the biscuits, just plop the biscuit on a baking sheet and put in 425, again, 15, 18 minutes until it's done. And I'll show you how to finish the top on both of these, no matter what you're doing, when it comes out. Boom. I like leaving a little daylight there so you know what the heck is in it. And I'm going to wash this hand. I'm going to put it in 425. Keep your eye on it. These things are going to kind of muffin up, okay? That's what I call it. And another word that I made up, you can't use it unless you get your lawyers with my lawyers. All right, you can use it. All right, so I'll be back 15, 18 once it's the way it should be. And there she blows, folks. Look at this. Puffed up. Just enough browning on the top. Beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to add an extra doodad, which you should too. This is about 3 or 4 tablespoons of butter. I melted it with about 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon of Old Bay. Yeah, I know. And I'm brushing it on. As soon as this came out, I just started to brush it. Chicken cobbler, ladies and gentlemen. Casserole form with Cheddar Bay biscuits. All right, while it's still wet, act fast and get that parsley in there. I mean, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Whew, man, that is just too beautiful. Time to get a taste. Well, here she is. I already took a taste, because I'm a professional. Anyway, let's get some of this biscuit in there. Anyway, let's give it a shot. Here we go. Oh yeah. Woo! So this is 2 recipes in one, really. It's a chicken cobbler, and the cobbler part, we use the Cheddar Bay biscuit recipe. This is the stuff, folks. I am Chef Sel, and please like, subscribe, tell everybody. I'm telling you, and thank you, New York, for wanting anything chicken. Well, I think we took care of that. I will see you next time.